Hi guys, I am sick as a dog. I've been bedridden for almost 2 days now, so I decided it was time to get up and do something productive. I'm just too sick to like do any thinking right now, so I can't even read. So this week I decided to explain my to-read list and my books. Okay, actually, I think the only people who have asked me this are people who have recommended books for me to read. And the question is always, when are you gonna get to it? Or how do you determine you're gonna read my book or whatever? But the only thing that I could tell people is it's on my list. So let me explain my to-read list and how I do my books. My first commitment is to the monthly books, which I know it doesn't seem like it's super important to me because I'm not super awesome at keeping up with it, but these are the books that are the most important and the ones that I read first. But like right now I have books a year ahead of time that are planned and prepared for. So those books I can plan for ahead of time, and sometimes if I know I'm gonna have to read this book, then I can read it in advance and then just post the video the month or the week that I'm supposed to read it. So in a month, when I'm done reading those books, I have books that people have recommended to me, like this one right here, Life Has Been a Dream. Then after the books that are suggested, I have this shelf up here. It's the Goodreads First Reads program books that I should write a review for. Those are the next level of importance. In a month, if I finish reading the 4 whatever books that I wanted to read, and I read the books that have been recommended to me, and I read my Goodreads First Reads and they're all through, then I have a list of all the books that I want to read that are in my to-read shelf on Goodreads, and I go off of them based on the date that it was added, which is a little confusing. I will tell you the truth, if I have to choose between a book that I have to get from the library or a book that I already own, I'm going to choose to read one of these first, just because convenience and I'm lazy. Oh, that's another thing. So if I have to get a book from the library, for whatever reason, and because it's due and I don't want to like pay money, is my first priority for the next like day, however long it takes me to read it, because I have to return it to the library. But those are the orders of importance of how I choose what books to read at this specific time. Now, another question is, how do I choose the monthly like genre? So I have a list on my computer of literally every book in the order that I've just told you. When I'm choosing books for the next month, I go off of the first book in there. There are a few months that are going to be set for genres. November is always going to be Thanksgiving. December is always going to be holiday, seasonal, whatever. So if someone says, hey, there's this Hanukkah book that I want you to read, even if you recommend it to me now, I'm probably not going to read it till December. Just because I always read Christmas books, because that's what I own, and I want to get through the books that I own first, but, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, those months, and February is always Valentine's. So pretty much October through December, they're set in stone. When I was making the things for next year, for 2015, I went through my Goodreads books first because they were the most important. The Martha Stewart book. I was like, okay, well, what would this thing be called in the nonfiction? Because nonfiction is kind of like a large spectrum. So I was like, okay, I'll do a home section. So when I was making them, I went through my Goodreads thing, and then the first book, you know, the second book, if it didn't fit in the first book's genre, then it got its own. So February is Valentine's, March is mystery because the Disillusion, the Fallout, the Moroni, and the Moroni Deception are all Goodreads first reads books. But normally I go through my to-read list from top to bottom and I find whatever books come next that fit that category. And that's what I have for those 4 books for the month. Oh, another thing about my to-read list, further down the list, it's not set in stone. Some of those books, for instance, I put in all my Reader's Digest books at one time. And there is no way that I'm gonna read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 Reader's Digest books in a row, even though that's the order that they're in my to-read list. I'm gonna have to have a breather from Reader's Digest. So anyway, I hope that helped clear up a little bit of the confusion about my books and how I deal with things. Alright, thank you for watching. I have links down below. If you have any books, please suggest them, recommend them. If you have any comments about my explaining skills, I don't know. If you have any questions about what I just tried to explain to you, please ask them, because I know that this is going to be total not making sense day. I'll see you later.